Here's a brief but annoying message to let you know that you could have first heard this episode 9 months ago if you were a subscriber to our Iron Filing Society Patreon offering.
For the price of a pint and a St Clement's each month, you can get up to 4 episodes a week, 9 months before the rest of the world gets them. Early access to regular episodes, lots of other marvellous benefits, and there's absolutely no adverts or brief but annoying messages like this that will get right on your ticks.
Find out more and subscribe now at tftimemachine.com/ironfilings.
Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, this is it!
This is Top Flight Tune Machine. I am Andy Hotbody Dawson. Pow, pow, pow.
I'm Sam Nifty Delaney, so what?
Well, go along. It's the second part of the Tune Machine, which covers the chart, the top 40 chart of the 11th of March, 1984. A time I remember well as being pretty much about the best time of my life.
Yeah. So I'm guessing you would have been in the March, so you're 2 years older than me? 3 years older than me.
3, I will have
you would have been
11 and a half, coming up to 12.
Yeah.
11 and 3/4, let's say.
So I would have been 8, just a month shy of my 9th birthday.
I would have regarded you as ludicrous if I'd known you in real life then.
Yeah, what? Because
You'd
of my age?
Probably an annoyance.
Yeah.
Because I was so much older.
Yeah. You were.
It's little Sam. It's little Cockney Sam again.
You were
hanging around.
You were secondary school already.
I was.
And I wasn't even. I was in the middle of primary school. I guess I would have been in the second year of juniors. I guess they call that year 4 now. I'd have been in year 4.
Yeah.
Year 3, year 4.
Yeah.
But fuck me, what a time to be alive. 1984. Wow. Absolutely stunning. And this chart is an absolute fucking banger, as every chart from 1984 we ever do is. And this is no exception. There are many, many talking points in this chart. Where are we going to start?
Hard to say. Music of Torval and Dean at number 10.
Yeah,
maybe we should. Torval and Dean
I think we should talk about it.
Torval and Dean feel like they could be
deep diveable.
Separate deep dive.
Deep diveable, yeah. I mean, Torval and Dean.
Because Torval and Dean were the biggest stars.
They were fucking everywhere.
In the country.
Why? Just why? They're fucking figure skaters. Figure skating is dancing on ice. It's silly. Yeah. And they, as I remember it, were not particularly charismatic. They were. I mean, he sort of just seemed like some guy in accounts, you know.
Wasn't he a part-time policeman or something?
Oh, that totally fucking adds up. Yeah, right. And
but of course, the whole thing about them was, what are they doing it? Are they doing it together or what?
Yeah.
They must.
We'll find out. We'll get to the bottom of this. We'll go through their rubbish. We'll even eat their rubbish if we have to. No, John. No one said you had to eat their rubbish. No. I will, Governor. If you want me to eat their rubbish, I'll eat it. I don't mind. Even if there's huge Johnnies in there, I don't care. That's how committed I am to journalism.
If I can get some Johnnies out of there, that means they're doing it.
Yeah. With the policeman one spunkled in them. I'm going to have to eat that. I don't mind though. No, that won't add to the story at all. I could do a first-person account of what it's like to eat a spunky condom off of the knob of a part-time copper. Surely the great British public have got a right to know. It's in the public interest.
Yeah, he was a copper from 1974 to 1980. Obviously, he quit when the ice dancing took off.
Ice dancing pig. Which one was it? Jane Tor, Christopher. Ice dancing pig, Christopher Dean, and his lovely lady friend Jane Torville.
Who he's definitely not doing it with.
Yeah, I don't reckon he was doing it. She was quite fit, obviously. Now, this reminds me, my mate. I'm getting in so much trouble from that I use everyone's real names in this podcast because it entertains me to say their names. I don't know about you, but when you say the full name of someone you went to school with or someone from your past, you get it's sort of funny. It amuses me to say that.
My daughter and her friends all refer to each other by their full names.
Yeah,
when they're talking to each
that's
other.
funny. I like that. So I don't know. Maybe I won't mention his name, but he was a good mate. I've told the story about him before. Ian himself has a load of stories. The best one being when he was riding on his mountain bike outside a Cafe Rouge, and he was going through his sort of bad boy, rude boy sort of phase of his life, and he was wearing very baggy sports bottoms, which were the style amongst the rude boys of the time. Andy, you may remember, very baggy sports trousers. Yeah. And he slammed the brake on because a car's pulled out in front of him outside Cafe Rouge, and he slammed the brake on hard and gone over the handle, like his head sort of gone over the handlebars, but his super baggy sports trousers got caught on the saddle. So as he went over the handlebars, it pulled down his trousers and his pants, and his naked bum was in the air, and his little willy was dangling down, and he couldn't get off the bike. And everyone at Cafe Rouge was sitting outside on a sunny day having their fucking croissants, right? And they saw his willy, and what was funny was he'd been giving it the right fucking hard man stare to all of them as he'd been going past, right? And next thing, his willy's there for all to see. And he's like, help me off my bike! Don't just sit there!
We can't go near him, because then it's like a sexual offence.
No, yeah, one of his hard man mates eventually helped him.
Touch his willy by mistake.
Yeah. So that was it. There's other stories about him, but I do.
Is there a Torval and Dean link to that?
Well, the Torval and Dean link to it is his sister. Again, I'm desperate to name her, but I won't. His sister. She's famous. No, she actually was briefly famous in the 80s, right? She was very hot. She was quite a few years older than him. She was very hot. When we started secondary school, she was already, I think, in the 5th year, right? And she was amazing. And she was already competing as a figure dancer in the British Olympic team. And
just to say, while you're telling us this story, I'm going to mute my microphone and finish eating the third of a club biscuit that I've got.
Yeah, I thought you were saying I'm going to mute my microphone and masturbate while you're telling me about this figure skater you went to school with. I'm just going to find out by Googling her name. Oh, she's got a Wikipedia. Brilliant. Okay, nice dancer.
I finished the biscuit.
Oh no, she was a double act like Torval and Dean. If I give too many details away, then they'll be able to find out.
You've seen too much.
Yeah, she won pretty major titles. She competed in one Olympics.
Is it Maria Whittaker?
2 Olympics. She weren't a fucking ice dancer, was she?
That's who I'm picturing.
Yeah, she wasn't unlike her. Oh my God. She was, and like, you know, when I started secondary school, I knew her because she was my mate's sister. And you know, when you're walking around all nervous and you just started, and then this sort of like absolute, I mean, she's a fucking Olympic athlete, right?
Yeah.
And she's wearing these short skirts, she had these incredible legs, that's what I remember most about her. And she was like, hi Sam, in the playground when you're walking past. And it just fucking finished me. I'd always be like, miss, I need to go to sick bay. Because that girl in the 5th year just said hello to me. And now I've got all sick and dizzy. Can I come to sick bay, please? Yes, okay. We've told
all the blood's got to my willy.
We've told that girl to stop talking to the younger boys. It confuses them. And it's really cut our productivity as a school.
Our grades are down.
Yeah, but she was a figure skater. She never quite reached those heights, but at the time she was a right local celebrity, as you can imagine. And people thought she was. I'm
dying to find out who she is.
I'll tell you, because you won't remember her. You won't remember her, and she wasn't that famous, but she did.
But I'll still Google her.
She did compete.
I can imagine.
Yeah, she did compete. I don't know what she's up to now. I think she might live in America. Not that I've been researching that.
You know Kathy Hill, is she from the one video?
Yes, it is her. No, it's not. I tell you what, my school there must have been something to do with my school on ice, because we also had a kid who was a speed skater who competed, I think, in the Winter Olympics. Yeah.
That's 2 mentions of speed skating in this podcast in the last few episodes.
Oh yeah, Roy the Rovers. There was someone
The
speed
second one might
skating.
not have gone out yet. Don't know, because we're pre-recording these.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so that's it. So
don't know
Torval and Dean
well-
were massive, but why do you think they were so massive? Apart from the will, they won't, mate, and they succeeded. But it's pretty boring, and they were pretty. I know it sounds pretty harsh, but they were pretty charmless. But I remember their puppets being featured on Spitting Image pretty much every week, mate.
yeah, they were perfect though. They were perfect at what they did. They got what does it say? The highest scoring figure skaters for a single performance, receiving 12 perfect sixes and 6 5.9s, which included artistic impression scores of 6 from every judge after skating to Maurice Ravel's Bolero, one of the most watched television events ever. But this is 1984. We've got 4 channels. And one of them's Channel 4.
Everyone in Britain remembers where they were. It's been bigger than the 1966 World Cup final. Everyone was there. Mum, dad, granddad, auntie. Even the Asian families on the street sat down to watch it and waved their Union Jacks. It brought the whole country together.
Well, we did. I remember sitting and watching it. There was a big build-up to it. It was like, oh, what are they going to do? What's the song going to be? And all this. And we all sat down and watched it together as a family. And they were brilliant. And they got bunches of flowers thrown at them like they do on the ice skating.
Yeah.
And it was... and Bolero's a great bit of music.
I can't remember it.
Oh, it's fantastic. Put it on later on. Have a bit of a...
Right,
just pretend you're a skater.
Oh,
Yeah,
I do
throw the
sometimes
kitchen
do
floor.
that anyway. What I do is particularly when the rest of the family are out, I put on some of my slidiest socks, and I put on classical music, and I pretend to be a figure skater on the kitchen floor, because you can actually, if you've got some good slidey socks on, you can slide around like it's ice. So I will give
that. Been
that.
a very, very popular thing to do back in 1984.
Yeah, on the
It
kitchen
wasn't
floor.
for me then. I was still more into the football, but and snooker.
The whole country,
Darts.
even young boys, are spellbound by ice. Ice, ice, ice. Dancing on ice. It's what's on everyone's lips.
The Twinkle-Toed Magicians have brought this country to a new level with their
Of national
fantastic...
pride. Not since we defeated the Nazis in Europe has Britain had such reason to feel proud, puff out its chest, and tell the rest of the world, fuck you, we're the best.
I think it felt like the final nail in the coffin against the Nazis.
Yeah.
Was the
When did
Torval
the
and Dean
fucking
triumph
Germans
of
come in
1984?
1984?
Beat that.
Fucking nowhere. Ach, the Englanders
Beat that,
are,
Herman.
how you say, incredible on the ice. They are even
Surely
better on the ice.
they as the master race.
They are
not
even
us.
better on the ice than they were in the skies in their Spitfires in the Battle of Britain with their master pilot Biggles.
And the legless wonder Douglas Bader.
They sure gave us a licking.
Douglas Bader could be a good history box. So 1984, that was in the top 10. The music of Torval and Dean, EP, Richard Hartley and the Michael Reed Orchestra, and I guess
It was
Bolero has
massive,
been on
wasn't
that.
it? It was massive. I was like, fuck this. I wasn't.
Quite right.
I just wasn't
You're not
into
into
it.
it?
I
No.
just found Torval and Dean really annoying and boring when I was a kid. I was like, why is everyone... and I still do now, as you can tell. I was like, why is everyone going on about this all the time? Why aren't we talking about Madonna and football? Do you know what I mean? Or Gremlins or
Yeah.
Ghostbusters. The world was full of excitement and brilliant fun entertainment. And everyone's going, oh, aren't they good at dancing around the ice? And I just think it was fucking stupid. I mean,
Because of course the other one they did was Barnum, which was the circus thing, wasn't it? And I think they danced around on the tips of their ice blades to that one,
yeah.
if I remember correctly. Fucking hell. Yeah, Barnum was on that EP. I'd have bought that. I probably didn't. Well, I know I didn't, but if it was out now, it's got Barnum on Ice and Bolero on it on a 7-inch single. Oh, might get it off Discogs. Nah, not gonna.
Next, I'd really like to talk, in case we run out of time, with the song just above it in the top 10, Somebody's Watching Me by Rockwell.
I think there's 4 or 5 weeks for this chart,
Yeah.
for us, to be honest. It's a great chart.
Somebody's Watching Me by
Yeah.
Rockwell is a supreme, brilliant piece of 80s soul. And I was like, oh yeah, Rockwell, wasn't he related to Michael Jackson? So I've just looked that up, and he was married to one of the Jackson girls. Let me just check. Is Rockwell related to Michael Jackson?
He's the son of Berry Gordy.
Rockwell's sister Hazel was married to Jackson's brother Jermaine. And I'm duty bound, should Jermaine Jackson come up in conversation on this podcast, to remind you and everyone that our good friend and associate, Mark the producer, still struggles to book an Uber to this day as a result of the conduct of Jermaine and his brothers in an Uber that we booked for them from Talk Radio after I finished interviewing them on Mark's Uber account. They claimed they were going to a hotel to visit Janet Jackson and her new baby. Whether or not that's true or they were just being daft, I don't know. But it's a lovely detail in the story that Mark, and if you knew Mark, it makes it even funnier, Mark booked them a cab on his personal Uber to take them to Janet Jackson's hotel room to meet their new niece or nephew. And we don't know what happened next in the car, but suffice to say, one of the Jacksons, it was Jermaine, Tito, Bernie, Dave, and Pigeon Steve. I think that's their names, right?
Only those 7 people, plus including the Uber driver, know what happened that day in that Uber. But it wasn't good.
Something happened not very far away from the studios, and the Jacksons were booted out on a road called The Cut in Suffolk.
Oh, I didn't know they were booted out.
They were booted out. They were asked to leave the taxi.
That augments the story.
They were given a 1-star review, but it went on Mark's thing. I don't know what happened then. I think the Jacksons literally hailed a black cab in Suffolk.
What could the Jacksons have done in that short time? Because from talk radio to The Cut, you're talking about
5 minutes.
200 metres, something like that.
Yeah. So I
5
don't
minutes
know.
in heavy traffic.
Did he get in and immediately Tito tries to take a shit on the backs? I mean, it would have to be something pretty major, wouldn't it?
Maybe they try to change the radio. I don't know.
Oh yeah, maybe he's a
station.
sensitive driver, but all I know is that Mark, I don't think he even bothers with. I think the rating and the review is so bad he doesn't even bother trying to book
There's no
an Uber
point.
to this day.
Let's start again. Let's buy a new mobile phone, get a burner phone, set up a new Uber account with it.
Yeah. So
Jackson's wrecked his.
that's the Jackson story. But yeah, Jermaine was married to Rockwell's sister.
Jalapeño.
Now, I think that this song was originally written for Michael Jackson. Let's check.
I'm looking at it now. I don't know. Well, I don't know, because Michael Jackson sings backing vocals on the chorus.
Yes.
And at the time, there was all this kind of, is that Michael Jackson? Could it be Michael Jackson? Is Michael Jackson singing on that
Yes,
song? And I don't
that's
think
it.
it was officially announced, but of course it was him.
It was
Of course
him,
it was him.
Yeah.
But it says here, Rockwell himself is the son of Berry Gordy, the Motown head honcho.
His dad sorted
So-
it out.
Nepo baby.
Dad,
But
could you get Michael Jackson to sing backing vocals on my new single? I'll see what I can do, son.
I make a call. But it gets more complicated than that. At the time of the recording, Rockwell was estranged from Berry Gordy.
Uh-oh.
And he was living with Ray Singleton, who was his father's ex-wife, and the mother of his older half-brother, Kerry Gordy. Ray Singleton served as executive producer on the project and would occasionally play demo tracks to Berry Gordy, who was less than enthusiastic about Rockwell's music. That kid's no good.
He's a
That's a load
bum.
of shit.
The kid's a bum. I gave him every opportunity.
Go and do your song with your fucking mother.
With your
My ex-wife.
stepmom. Until he heard the
Go do
single.
it with Ray Singleton.
Michael Jackson's. Yeah, and her sister Valerie. Terrible joke.
For the teenagers there.
Had the single with Michael Jackson's familiar voice. Yeah, it's such a great song. Somebody's Watching Me was written in the key of C minor through the final recording But yeah, that's just technical stuff.
It's a great song, though. It's a great song.
Yeah, I want to look at the lyrics because it's a paranoid song about like a stalker, isn't it?
That was all the rage at the time. Of course, the Police had done "Every Breath You Take" the year before, which again was a stalker song, which inexplicably apparently gets played at weddings as wedding dance songs.
Very weird.
Every step you take, every move you make, every breath you take, I'll be watching you.
Fucking hell.
I'll be watching you.
I'll always be watching. And I tell you what else, I'm going to put one of those fucking tracking chips in your handbag too. So so when you say you're going for a fucking coffee with your friends, but you're trying to cop up with some geezer you met online, I'll fucking know, and I'll be there, and I will fucking cancel all your credit cards.
Because that chip I've got a special one, it's from China, and it can pick up cop-offs. It doesn't just tell me where you are.
Do you know what?
It measures your heart rate.
Do you know what? Put a sort of a spooky beat under that, and it sounds like a sort of a Jarvis Cocker song. It sounds like a pulp song from the 90s. Oh yeah, said you were going to meet your friend at the shopping precinct, but I knew you were meeting him. I put a chip in your fucking bag, didn't I? And now I've cancelled all your credit cards. It's fucking pulp song, that.
I heard about you getting fingered in Bradford through the chip.
One of my mates saw you around the back of the fucking chippy. You were getting it real good. I knew all along, but I didn't care. It starts off with a sort of a talking rap bit, because he goes, I'm just an average man with an average life. I work from 9 to 5. Hell yeah, I pay the price.
I pay the price.
All I want is to be left alone in my average home. But why do I always feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone? And that bit's shit. That's Rockwell.
Yeah.
But then Michael Jackson comes in, and it immediately goes from being a shit novelty song. And all Michael Jackson does is sing 2 lines and immediately elevates it to a banger. I always feel like somebody's watching me. And I have no privacy.
Rockwell joins in. Rockwell goes, I have no privacy.
Yeah, it's like, Rockwell, shut up.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson's voice is probably my favourite voice of all time. Not because it's necessarily technically the best, although it is a superb singing voice. But there's something about the way he sings that I find tremendously exciting. Like, he can sing anything. He can sing a shopping list, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm ready to disco. I'm ready to dance on ice or in the kitchen, wherever you want, Michael.
I'm in the kitchen in my socks, and I'm not going to do the
sliding around. Yeah, so it's an interesting song. It's got a great video too. And well done, everyone involved, especially Michael Jackson.
Yeah, it deserved its peak chart number of number 6 back in 1984. Well done, Rockwell. I don't know what Rockwell has done since. Maybe he became a copper like Christopher Dean. Not sure.
Maybe the lyrics of the song sort of made him think even more carefully about what a dangerous world it is and how people do need protection from people.
He became a recluse.
And he's like, I'm going to commit myself to law enforcement so people don't have to live under the same fear that I did for so many years.
Yeah. I'm looking to see what else he did. Fucking very little by the looks of it. He's oh shit. In 2018 he was arrested in Hollywood for allegedly beating a female associate with a chair.
Oh, fuck's sake, Rockwell. I wish we hadn't given you such a good review now. Listen, Rockwell, everyone knows that song wouldn't have got anywhere without Michael Jackson's bit.
Rockwell, you are hereby cancelled.
Get off of our podcast, Rockwell. Strangely, Michael Jackson, you can stay. Weird, right?
Yeah. Yeah, judgments are fluid. Obscene Phone Caller was the follow-up, got a number 79 in the chart.
It was called Obscene Phone Caller.
Obscene Phone Caller.
What?
Yeah.
What a fucking... That's weird, isn't it?
I've not heard it, but Los Angeles Times critic Dennis Hunt considered it delightfully kinky. What the fuck? An obscene phone call is not delightfully kinky under any circumstances.
Nothing's delightfully kinky.
Unless it's consensual.
I don't think anything that's kinky is delightful. Not that I'm judging you if you are a kinky person, but crack on if that's what you like, as long as it doesn't harm anyone, it's consensual. But I don't think delightful is a word I would ever associate with a kinky act.
It's not. The two don't go together, do they? But that's
how wonderfully and delightfully kinky.
He had a small banana inserted into his anus by her. It was delightfully kinky.
Delightfully, deliciously kinky. If you get kinky's more like this. Yeah, fucking kinky bastard, yeah.
That's Jarvis Cocker again.
Yeah, that's another good song off Different Class, wasn't it? You fucking kinky bastard, yeah. I came into your room. You was putting a fucking hippopotamus up your ass, and you were having your dog lick it out. Oh yeah, I saw the whole thing. I could sell your mum cooking the Finders crispy pancakes downstairs. Nobody knew.
You were in the bath and you had a bottle of matey and you took the top off that was also his helmet and then you put your knob in it.
It was delightfully kinky.
Deliciously kinky.
And I watched you, and I watched you, and I wanted to get in with you, but I couldn't know yet.
And I'm going to try to get off with your dad instead.
Calm down, Jarvis.
That's from one of the songs on Different Class. It's Pencil Skirt, I think.
Yeah.
I got off with your mum and now I'm working on your dad.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Good man. There are so many songs that are bona fide classics, all-time classics, songs that became standards of pop, all in one chart. It's amazing.
Yeah.
At 35, Madonna, Holiday. It had peaked at number 6.
First top 40 hit. This was the arrival of Madonna.
A fucking song. And for me, this is Madonna in her purest form. This is Madonna. When people go, when there's an 80s dress-up party, like fucking adult children love to go to, if you dress as Madonna, you dress as Madonna basically in this era. You don't dress in any other era other than the Holiday / Into the Groove era. Lace gloves.
Yeah, don't go Material Girl video, do you?
No.
Nothing like that, or True
Madonna has been obviously huge for fucking over 40 years now, I think. Yeah, about 40 years.
Getting up to 40 years, yeah.
Getting up to 40 years.
It's like there's a peak Boy George. If you're going to dress up as Boy George, you would dress up as Karma Chameleon Boy George.
Yeah, you don't dress as heroin addict Boy George.
Shaven-headed.
I'm a celebrity Boy George.
In prison Boy George.
But like Holiday by Madonna, unbelievable. And she was, I was obsessed with Madonna at this age. Weirdly, me and all my cousins got really into Madonna one summer. And one of my cousins, when we were staying at his house in the countryside, organised a Madonna treasure hunt, which was, and like I say, I would have been 8, 9 by the summer. And he was a bit older than me, and he had all of the magazines, like he subscribed to both Smash Hits and Number One magazine.
Oh yeah.
And I thought it was really cool, right? And actually I remember also he subscribed to Breakdancing magazine too.
Oh.
Right, so he knew his stuff.
Go to W.H. Smith's in the town to get that.
Yeah.
Because that's a niche magazine.
He would have been sort of 12, and I really, really looked up to him, and he was going on about Madonna this, Madonna that, which just cemented my love of Madonna, because by him endorsing her, it was like, fucking hell, I was right all along. She's absolutely cracking, right? And he went, of course, I've got loads of pictures of Madonna in my bedroom. And we were like, why? And he went, because I get all the magazines and I fucking cut them out. And we were like, have you got any spares? Have you got any spares? And he was like, I might do. What are you prepared to do for it? Anything. And so what he did was he told us all to go into a separate room, and then he secreted cut out pictures of Madonna from like Number One and Smash Hit magazine in all different places around the house, right? And the garden. And then me and and 2 other cousins against the clock had to tear around the house trying to find them. It was basically like an Easter egg hunt. It was the same sort of thing, but it was with pictures of Madonna. And you know how exciting it was and how much in my memory it is? I actually remember the ones I found. My other two cousins found most of them in the house. I ran out into the garden and there was a folded up deck chair, Andy, just outside the front door. And I grabbed it and I was in a frenzy. I was in a frenzy for these pictures, right? He'd really built it up into a huge thing. I'm like, I'm looking at my pictures. I'm going to go in the garden, see if they're in there. And I grabbed, in a frenzy, I grabbed this deck chair and it was folded and I pulled it open. And as I pulled it open, there was a gust of wind and about 4 small cut-out pictures of Madonna fluttered away.
Oh, no.
And I had to run around.
Shit.
You know that scene where Zammo's desperately trying to claw heroin back up off the floor of the toilet in the youth club?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me
Fucking
trying
hell.
to grab them. They were fluttering around everywhere. I was like, they're flying away. I'm losing Madonna.
Do you remember, I used to like looking at pictures of Madonna as well around that time.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Open Your Heart video?
No,
Where she's playing
how
like
did that one
the
go?
exotic dancer and there's loads of fellas looking in.
Oh,
peep
through
show
like
thing.
a peep show. Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah,
Is
she's
that
wearing
like that
like
young
a
lad
basque
Felix in it? Do you remember
That's
him?
right, he was in that.
Yeah.
And he presented the Tube for a bit. And
Little
she's wearing
fuck-
like a basque and
Little
and
fucking
fishnets.
pervert. Yeah.
That, I'll tell you how old I was when that video came out.
Go on.
I was 14 years and 5 months, Sam.
Oh.
Boom.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Can you imagine that age? Something like that on the telly.
I was well jealous of that kid Felix because
Yeah.
I'm thinking, how's he engineered this? He only looks about my age, and he's in a sex video
Yeah.
with Madonna, and then he was on the cover of the fucking Face magazine.
Well, he went off with her at the end, didn't he? But
The
just
chi-
as
the
friends,
fu-
because he was
the
only a little
dirty
boy.
little bastard. Let's find out what happened to him. I hope it isn't grim.
Oh, he became a record company executive.
Did he?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he was at like Sony or something like that.
Felix Howard, the
Felix
young
Howard
boy from the
Madonna
Open
video.
Your Heart video, is now a successful record producer.
Director of A&R BMG Records. He'd done well.
Yeah,
He'd done well out of that, didn't he?
like Nick Cayman.
I mean, little fucker.
Nick Cayman was also a beautiful man with a similar look, who became famous
Yeah.
and similar. Didn't Nick Cayman go on to be a record exec? Or have I imagined that?
Did he? I'm focusing
Oh
more
no,
on the
I'm
Open
thinking
Your
of
Heart
Nathan from Brother Beyond, maybe.
video. Nick Cayman had it off with Madonna, didn't he?
Wouldn't surprise me, mate.
And Amanda de Cadenet, it says here.
Cayman, you legend. I saw Nick Cayman
Nick
play in
Cayman
a
died.
football match once, and he was like, and I thought, pretty boy. It was one of these celebrity media football matches, right?
Yeah.
In the 90s, and some team, I think it was maybe a magazine thing or film company thing, some team, everyone tried to bring ringers, you know. So it was either a mate who was really good or I remember like people like Loaded or FHM used to always actually get someone like fucking Stan Bowles or Rodney Marsh to actually come and play for them, right? And this one team had Nick Cayman as their so-called ringer. But obviously, we were all like, fucking Nick Cayman, fucking pretty boy.
Fucking puds.
He ain't going to be that fucking good, is he? He was fucking brilliant at football.
Yeah.
And I remember being so annoyed. Because I'm thinking, all right, so you're really good looking, but also you're a gifted footballer. It's not fair, is it?
Yeah. Cayman's got the lot.
Got the lot, the full
But,
package.
yeah, as I said, he sadly passed away a couple of years ago. Do you remember that?
Nick
Yeah,
Cayman.
age 59.
Nick
Nick
Cayman.
Cayman, yeah.
Such
No
a
longer
shame.
with us.
It's horrible.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
Does, yeah.
Makes you think. Tell you what, let's leave it there on that sad note.
That is a sour
We'll dedicate
note,
this
isn't it?
episode to the memory of Nick Cayman. I think.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
And we'll do some more from this chart for at least one more episode.
Oh,
Come
yeah,
back and
at
join
least.
us again next time. So thank you very much and goodbye.
Good.